We all have primarily seen one type of bike engine, which is the single-cylinder engine, found in most motorcycles. But there is so much variety in the engines used in two-wheelers, that you need to know about it. So in today's video, we are taking a look at different types of engine used in a motorcycle. Let's start with single-cylinder engine. A piston engine with only one cylinder is a single-cylinder engine, commonly termed as a thumper. Single-cylinder engines work best on small cc bikes. They are cheap to maintain and fix if something goes wrong. Single cylinders are sluggish at higher RPMs but are very aggressive and punchy down low, making them great for adrenaline-pumped low-speed rides. Also, these engines are more suitable for lightweight and low-cost motorcycles, therefore commuter and light-weighted sports bikes are made with single-cylinder engines. The Honda Super Cub, the motor vehicle with the highest overall sales since its introduction in 1958, uses a 49cc 4-stroke single-cylinder engine. There are also several single-cylinder sport bikes, such as the KTM 690 Duke-R, dual-sport motorcycles, such as the BMW G650 GS, and the classic-styled Royal Enfield 500 Bullet. The Moto3 class in the MotoGP World Championship have used 4-stroke 250cc single-cylinder engines, since the class replaced 125cc 2-strokes in 2012. Two-cylinder engines. As you can guess from the name, this engine has two cylinders. More cylinders mean more weight, more cost, and more power. There are different types of two-cylinder engines used in a motorcycle. They are inline twin engine, V-twin engine, L-twin, and boxer engine. Now let's take a look at these types in details, starting with inline twin engine. An inline twin is also known as a straight twin engine. In this two-cylinder are arranged in a line and a shared common crankshaft. This engine type is generally found in medium and high displacement models. The world's first production motorcycle, the 1894 Hildebrand and Wolfmuller, used a straight twin engine. And in 1938 Triumph Speed Twin was a successful straight twin motorcycle, which also led to straight twin engines becoming more widely used by other brands. Kawasaki Ninja 650, Honda CB500 range, Yamaha MT-03, Suzuki GSX 250R, BMW F750 GS, and Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 are the examples of straight twin engine. V-twin engine. A V-twin engine is a two-cylinder piston engine where the cylinders share a common crankshaft and are arranged in a V configuration. Gottlieb Daimler built one of the world's earliest V-twin engines in 1889, and it is still in use today. Although widely associated with motorcycles, installed either transversely or longitudinally, V-twin engines have also been used for industrial engines and in several small cars. You can find these engines mostly in Harleys. Although any V-angle between 0 and 180 degrees is theoretically attainable for a V-twin engine, angles smaller than 40 degrees are rarely used. The most frequent V-angle for a V-twin engine is 90 degrees, which can produce a perfect primary balance, assuming the correct counterweight is employed, like most Ducatis, most Moto Guzzi's, the Honda RC51, Suzuki TL1000S, and TL1000R. V-twin engine provides good balance. The two cylinders of this engine balance each other perfectly, resulting in weight savings and increased vehicle economy. Also, the V-twin engine provides excellent air cooling. Engines that are air-cooled or liquid-cooled perform equally well. V-type engines are tiny and lightweight compared to other engine designs, making them ideal for small vehicles. Yamaha V-Star 250, Honda Shadow. Harley-Davidson Road Glide, Kawasaki Vulcan 900, and KTM 1290 Super Duke are the examples of V-twin motorcycles. L-twin. L-twin engines are twin-cylinder engines that have a 90-degree angle between the cylinders. These engines are relatively similar to V-twin engines in power and weight. The Ducati V-twin has the V tilted forward, so the front cylinder is nearly parallel to the ground, hence the term L-twin. Only Ducati and Moto Guzzi currently make bikes with the L-twin 90 degrees engine, and it is inherently the smoothest angle of any twin. Boxer engines. Boxer engines are also known as flat twin engines. Each pair of opposing pistons moves inwards and outwards simultaneously, like boxing competitors punching their gloves together before a fight. The cylinders are present on two banks on the opposite sides, connected to a common crankshaft. Carl Benz received the patent for the flat twin engine design in 1896, and it was the Lanchester 8-horsepower Phaeton automobile that had the first production flat twin engine in 1900. Since then, the flat twin engine has been used in various other cars, but it is most commonly found in motorcycles. Boxer engines do not require a balance shaft or counterweights on the crankshaft to balance the weight of the reciprocating parts. These engines have excellent air cooling and good balancing, and are found in many BMW models like the 1250 GS. Triple-cylinder engines. A straight-three engine, also called an inline triple or inline three, is a three-cylinder piston engine where cylinders are arranged in a line and a common crankshaft. Triple-cylinder engines are a lot smoother compared to a V-twin and are narrower and lighter than an inline four. They also provide torque like a twin-cylinder and power like an inline four. These engines are not found in many motorcycles except Triumph range like Street Triple and in Yamaha MT-09. The advantages of a straight-three engine for motorcycles are that it has a shorter length than an inline-four engine and produces less vibration than a straight-twin engine. Suzuki GT380, Laverda 1003C. Yamaha XS850, BMW K75, and some Triumph motorcycles are the examples of three-cylinder engines. V3 engine. The V3 engine is a V engine with two cylinders in one bank and one cylinder in the other bank. It is a rare configuration that has been primarily used in two-stroke engines for motorcycles competing in racing. The first example was the 1955 DKW 350. The 1968 Suzuki RP68 also used the V3 engine, and was intended to compete in the 1968 season, but it never raced due to a rule change. BSL 500 V3. Honda MVX 250F. And Honda NS500 are the examples of V3 engine. W3 engine. One of the first W engines was the Anzani 3-cylinder, built in 1906 and used in Anzani motorcycles. The W3 has all three cylinders in the same plane, but none of them in the same bank. The Fueling W3 is a 2.5 liters motorcycle engine built by an aftermarket parts company in the United States in the early 2000s. The W3 engine is air-cooled, with 2 valves, 4 bores, and 4 strokes, creating a 150 cubic inch monster. This engine will deliver 150 horsepower and 170 foot-pounds of torque to the rear wheel. Four-cylinder engines. There are several types of four-cylinder engines. Let's have a look at them, starting with inline four-cylinder engine. The straight or inline-four engine is an engine with all cylinders aligned in one row and having no offset. Inline-4 engines are also smaller in overall physical dimensions than designs and can be mounted in any direction. Straight configurations are simpler than their V-shaped counterparts. These engines have high power, comfort, good balancing, fluid operation, and very low vibrations. Belgian arms manufacturer FN Herstal, which had been making motorcycles since 1901, began producing the first motorcycles with inline-4s in 1905. This bike looks a bit like a stretched bicycle, with the engine hanging from the bottom tube of the frame, with the cylinders going up the side of the bottom tube. The first across-the-frame 4-cylinder motorcycle was the 1939 Racer Gilera 500 Rondine. It also had double overhead camshafts, forced inducting supercharger, and was liquid-cooled. Modern inline-4 motorcycle engines first became popular with Honda's CB750, introduced in 1969, and others followed in the 1970s. Since then, the inline-4 has become one of the most common engine configurations in street bikes. The inline-4 is the most common configuration because of its relatively high performance-to-cost ratio. An ability to put out large amounts of horsepower at high revs made it the ideal engine during the era of Japanese sports bikes. From the 1986 Suzuki GSX R1100 and the 1992 Honda CBR 900RR Fireblade to the latest Yamaha R1, the inline-4 was the power unit of choice. And that includes the current fastest production motorbike available, the supercharged 998cc inline-4, Kawasaki Ninja H2. V4 engine. A V4 engine is a 4-cylinder piston engine where the cylinders share a common crankshaft and are arranged in a V configuration. V4 engines are much less common than inline-4 engines. One of the first motorcycles powered by a V4 engine was the 1931-1935 Matchless Silver Hawk, built in the United Kingdom. V4 engines were used during the mid to late 1980s, especially in transverse-engined Honda motorcycles that had a 90-degree V4 engine with water cooling. The majority of 2020 MotoGP manufacturers chose the V4 configuration for their bikes. Honda NC30, NC35, Ducati Desmo, and Honda RC213V have used the V4 engine. 5-cylinder engine. The straight 5 or inline 5 engine is an IC engine with 5 cylinders aligned in one row or plane, sharing a single engine block and crankcase. The 5-cylinder engine is almost as compact as an inline 4 and nearly as smooth as a straight 6 engine. The smallest straight 5 was found on the Honda racing motorcycle, the RC149, in 1966. The 5-cylinder configuration engine was used because it shared components, and hence simultaneous development, with the 2-cylinder engine. It is worth noting that Honda had experience with inline 6s already in RC165 and RC166. In contrast, a high-revving even-firing inline 5 and its diversity of potential configurations would have been quite the engineering challenge from a vibration point of view. V5 engine. The engine design is a 5-cylinder in a V configuration, consisting of 3 front cylinders and 2 rear cylinders. RC211V is the first 4-stroke V5 racing engine designed by Honda for the first year of the 21st century. The 5 cylinders have round pistons and 4 valves each. Programmed fuel injection has been adopted for the intake system. The Honda Racing Corporation developed the Honda RC211V motorcycle in 2001 to replace the 2-stroke Honda NSR 500. It was developed directly due to significant changes to the World Championship Motorcycle Road Racing Regulations 500cc class for the 2002 season. The name of the class was modified to MotoGP, and while 2-stroke engines remained limited to 500cc and 4 cylinders, 4-stroke engines were now allowed to be as large as 990cc, and from 3 to 6 cylinders, which led many teams to switch to 4-stroke designs. Six-cylinder engine. There are 3 types of 6-cylinder engines used in motorcycles. They are straight 6, flat 6, and V6. The straight 6 or inline 6 is an IC engine with 6 cylinders mounted straight along the crankcase with all the pistons driving a common crankshaft. The bank of cylinders may be oriented at any angle, and where the bank is inclined away from the vertical, the engine is sometimes called a slant 6, which is also called as Chrysler inline 6. The straight 6 layout is the simplest engine layout that possesses both primary and secondary mechanical engine balance, resulting in much less vibration than engines with fewer cylinders. Honda raced several straight 6 engines in the Honda RC series of motorcycles, starting with the 249cc 3 RC164 in 1964, RC165, RC166. Also, in 1967, Honda raced the straight 6 297cc RC174 in the 350 class. For road use, Honda introduced the Honda CBX in 1978. Kawasaki introduced the 1300cc KZ1300 in 1979. Benelli introduced the first production motorcycle with a 6-cylinder engine, the 750C, in 1972, which was later enlarged to 900cc, to become the 900C. BMW has developed a straight 6 engine for motorcycle use, debuting in a concept bike in 2009, which features on the K1600 GT and K1600 GTL motorcycles that were launched in 2011. Flat 6-cylinder engine. These engines are pretty rare and rarely seen outside of large touring models. A modern example of a flat 6 would be Honda's Gold Wing, which has 3 cylinders laid out horizontally on either side of the engine. Initially, the engine had a displacement of 1.5 liters, until it was enlarged to 1.8 liters in 2001. The Honda Valkyrie F6C was a cruiser based on the GL 1500 Goldwing. The limited edition 2004 Valkyrie Rune was based on the GL 1800. V6 engine. In this, the cylinders are arranged in a V shape with 3 cylinders at each bank. The La Verda V6 was a racing motorcycle unveiled at the 1977 Milan show. It entered the 1978 Bold Door 24-hour endurance race. However, it retired with mechanical issues after approximately 8 hours. Horex has produced road motorcycles with VR6 engines since 2012. 8-cylinder engine. Motorcycles have rarely used V8 engines, with the few in existence being built for motor racing. In 1907, Curtis V8 set an unofficial world record of 136.36 miles per hour on a homemade 4.0-liter motorcycle. The Moto Guzzi V8 was a 499cc motorcycle used for Grand Prix racing from 1955 to 1957. The 1994 Morbidelli V8 was an 848cc concept motorcycle which did not reach production. Aurora V8 Hellfire OZ26. Lazareth LM 847. Eisenberg V8, Honda CB800 V8, and Boss Haas are the examples of V8 engine. 10-cylinder engine. In 10-cylinder engine only V-type configuration is used in motorcycles, that is V10. The Milliard Viper V10 is a one-off motorcycle capable of over 200 miles per hour. The bike has an 8-liter Dodge Viper V10 engine producing 500 brake horsepower. Milliard has stated that he aims to reach a top speed of 250 miles per hour with this bike. The Dodge Tomahawk is a non-street legal vehicle introduced in 2003 by Dodge at the North American International Auto Show. The Tomahawk attracted significant press and industry attention for its striking design, outsized displacement, 10-cylinder car engine, and 4 close-coupled wheels, which give it a motorcycle-like appearance. The retro Art Deco design central visual element is the 500 horsepower, 8.3-liter V10 SRT10 engine from the Dodge Viper sports car. So what do you think about these bike engines? Which bike do you have, and with how many cylinders? Let me know in the comments. Do you know there are different types of V engines are available in automobiles, from V2 to V24? Click this video and find out more about these engines.